my channel. My name is Karina and I typically make videos about speech language pathology, specifically for SLP assistants. I am here with my son Rio. I'm here to share with you guys 3 signs that you can teach nonverbal children. Now these are signs I have worked on with my son myself, given he is only he is only 1 year old, so it's really hard for him to communicate. But as a speech language pathologist assistant, I have used these skills also when I worked in early intervention. Not only do I try to teach my son these 3 signs, but these are also signs that I always would start out with when I worked in early intervention. And I would teach, families to use this throughout their daily activities. So here it is. So typically when you do work with a nonverbal child, the goal is to make their needs and wants be met, really. You want to understand when they want something to eat. You want to make sure that you're understanding if they want to grab an object or something. The first sign I would always teach in early intervention was the sign for more. And that's the first one I learned actually. And that's taking your 2 hands, kind of putting all of your fingers together and your thumbs right behind. And you're just bringing them together to sign for more, like this. You're repeatedly doing that, and that is a sign for more. Now, I would use this in play. If I have a small shape sorter and I'm giving the child 1 toy and they want more, if they're or trying to ask for something, it's very clear, or if they're pointing or something, then I would give them the other shape that they're wanting, just an additional shape, and I'm also signing more for them to see, here's more for you. If your child cannot already imitate that hand sign, then you're gonna want to take your own hands, go over them and make them sign more. You'd also want to make sure that you're making eye contact while this is happening, or at least when you're saying the word more, you want them to be looking at you so that they see your lips pressing, and saying more is the equivalent of also signing the word. So try to do both saying more and signing, especially with eye contact, it's gonna help. And just the hand over hand, again, making them sign more and consistently giving them that toy, whether it's with blocks, with a shape sorter, whether it's with their stuffed animals, anything that they're interested in, give them more when you're making them sign. The second sign that I find is pretty easy to incorporate in playtime is all done. Now, when I did work with ECI, I was signing all done this way. It wasn't until later that I learned the correct way to be signing it is with 2 hands and just kind of waving both in the opposite directions. That means all done. So you can do this when you're playing and it's time for cleaning up. Before singing the cleanup song or something like that, you can say all done and try to repeat it again as you're doing the sign. If the child again cannot imitate the sign, you want to make sure they're looking at your mouth as you're saying all done, and take your hand over their hands and help them sign all done. Now, I think a big key is also making this really consistent. If you're all done with your meal time, then you can say all done. If you're all done playing outside and you're moving into playing inside or eating inside something, you can also sign all done and make sure that they understand, you're finished, and make that activity be complete. The third sign is eat. So for this one, when I worked in early intervention, I was taking my hand just like this, and I was putting it by my mouth while I said eat, eat. This, I did it when they're eating a snack, not necessarily holding their mealtime from them. I don't want to be too strict and make them sign just to be eating when they're super hungry, but make it an appropriate time. If you're giving them a snack, or if they're asking you for food and it's very clear they're wanting food, if they're bringing you a bowl or some spoons, if they're doing something that is signaling, I want to eat, it's my time to eat, I'm hungry, then make sure you're saying eat, eat as you're presenting the food to them, or a snack like I mentioned earlier. I definitely think these are the best signs to begin with if you have a nonverbal child, if you want to teach sign language, if you just want to understand your child and you want them to know that there's a way to communicate. Again, I use this with my son and I really try to make him use it throughout our day-to-day activities. I really think play is the best way to incorporate all 3 of these signs. Obviously you're not always going to have meals or snacks while you're playing, but you get the gist of it. You're going to do this in your day-to-day life. So if you're trying to teach this to someone who is nonverbal, if you just want to teach your toddler that there's a way to communicate, or whatever the case may be, I hope you all did find this video helpful. And if you did, please make sure to give my video a like and subscribe to my channel. It'll mean so much to me. I will catch you guys with my son in my next video. Bye.